GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 265 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast. Hey, indeed. That voice, of course. Hey, is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister. What is up, sir?
What up, dog fool gangster yos? Call us.
What?
I don't know.
I'm not sure where we're going this sir, but,
I don't know either. I'm just happy because it's Friday. It is podcast day, and we get to do, we get to have the excuse to, hang out for a little bit.
Yes.
And just, talk what otherwise we would have been talking in normal life.
In normal times.
In normal time. Exactly. And we're just going to condense it into a recording so that when we're not, when it inevitably happens where we can't even do this anymore because the apocalypse would have happened or something, we will have, I will have my recorder because I'm recording on tape, and I'm going to play this, on a little on a little cassette, Sony Walkman cassette tape from the 80s.
Oh snap! He's making
I'm
a
driving
single.
my Mad Max car, I would put together.
Yes, Mad Max, good stuff. Sir, you're very lively, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with the fact that you recently had a milkshake.
Yes.
What did you have, by the way?
I'm sugared up.
Yeah, I think you're a little sugared up, but I'm curious because you said you can't have vanilla. So if it's not vanilla, would you go with? I guess chocolate.
So I don't play around with this. I am not adventurous when it comes to my food. I like what I like, and I don't want to get disappointed. Therefore, let's say if I were to go to a restaurant, I will always order the exact same thing. I know I'm boring. That's not a surprise to anyone. But I also don't want to play around if I'm asking for a milkshake. So if they don't have, if with milkshake, I usually just go straight to chocolate, because you just reminded me that banana also exists. But those are, very rare and far, and far out. So I'm not even going to try it at that point. I just go, you know what? Get me chocolate. If they don't have chocolate, get me vanilla, I guess, because there's no other choice. There could be 30 choices, but I would think, no, there's no choice. I don't want strawberry. I don't want
You don't like strawberry either? Dear Lord.
I don't like anything that is too fruity,
Unless it's a cocktail, apparently.
Not by choice. I tell you, damn it. It's not by choice. They always have names that sound manly, like the Raging Uncle.
That is hilarious. Oh my God. Yeah, I have thanks to you and your missus.
And my wife.
Yeah.
She was the one that craved at the last minute, and so much that she literally just went out to
she didn't even tell you.
Shout out to my wife for getting it.
You just broke out.
She told me. It's like, honey, I'm going out. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were. Oh yeah, I'm going to get some. I'm going to get a milkshake. I'm like, milkshake? Well, that's an odd craving, but okay. And that's when I instructed her to get me chocolate.
Well, I have Nick. Was like, well, he's not doing nothing, and I can
nothing to rob his life.
Yeah, exactly. I can bribe him with a milkshake.
He needs to serve it.
By going to get me one. But yes, it's going. We're getting it from Steak and Shake, and it's going to be a nice banana one. I can't wait to be on that same sugar high that you're on right now, sir.
Well, you got a weird combination because Steak and Shake shakes and Bananarama. Oh, that's, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Bananarama.
Well, banana. Me, on the other hand, I had to. I mean, I told you, I live in the middle of Sanford, so to me, my only choices were IHOP or McDonald's for McFlurry.
No McFlurry.
So of course, yeah. And we were IHOP because they're good. They're really good, actually. I have no problem.
Never had anything at IHOP other than breakfast. And it never includes a milkshake, obviously, because I don't feel milkshakes are breakfast. Doesn't matter what time I go to IHOP, mind you. Getting out of a bar at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's like, yep, we're gonna have breakfast at IHOP.
That's breakfast. You said it. 1 in the morning is the morning. So whatever you had during that time is breakfast. I don't care how hungover you feel or whatever. No, it is breakfast.
Yeah, it is definitely all about the breakfast. All about the pancakes from IHOP. I miss IHOP.
It's all about the pancakes.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. If this is your first time listening, welcome. And please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone.
Or don't. I don't give a fuck, all right? Whatever. I do what I want. Do what you want. Click that like button or not. You know, if you don't like it,
pressure.
Click the dislike button. We don't care. It boosts engagement anyway. So
wait a minute now.
Leave a comment. Leave a nasty comment if you want. We don't care. It's like, again, it helps the channel. Just do something, please. Just go in. I'm
just engage in some way
and see 0 views for our uploads. Come on.
Oh my god.
Does that sound desperate enough?
I mean, yeah, but with just enough, where people go, oh, okay.
with a sliver of dignity still.
Yeah,
intact.
a little bit. Right. Anyway, what we normally do
when we're whoring myself for the podcast.
Well, I appreciate it. What we normally do when we're not groveling for likes is first we go into what we have been up to. Move on into various news items, and then, of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic.
Hot topics.
E3 ridiculous predictions. It's all about the pie in the sky today, guys.
And I'm going to have one ridiculous one right now. I'm going to drop it right now. E3 is going to be good this year. There you go. That's my prediction.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's going to be very good. I do want to do a quick update since we had the E3 preview last week. We didn't actually have some of the dates and times for some of the events. So I wanted to just quickly kind of go over the ones that were missing.
Okay. Yeah,
Square Enix didn't have a date, and now they do. They will be on Sunday, June 13th. And that will be at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nintendo also didn't have a specific date and time. They now have it. It will be at 11 a.m. on June 15th. That's the Tuesday. Nintendo Direct and Treehouse Live, which they pretty much do every year. So starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The Direct is actually at 12. And then, of course, Treehouse kind of just goes on through the day. A couple of interesting things. Apparently, there's a couple of publishers that are going to actually have events that we didn't know until recently. Don't have date and times, but we do know that Gearbox Entertainment will have a conference on Saturday, the 12th of June. Don't know what they got to say, but apparently they need a conference to say it. So
they're gonna have a peacock party.
Wow. Capcom and Take-Two Interactive will also have conferences. Capcom actually does have a time that'll be Monday, June 14th at 11 a.m. Take-Two, on the other hand, has not announced their time, but it is also set for June 14th.
You know what it is? It's like they're saying, "Oh, really? You don't need to rent space to get time. You can just throw it together." Oh shit! Let's have an announcement.
Yeah.
You know what? We could have an announcement actually of our game that we haven't been working on ever.
Yeah. And
Así
then
cualquiera.
and that's exactly what's happening. I mean, this may be what E3 continues to be, guys. I'm sorry to say. Anyway, the last one, June 15th, the Tuesday, Bandai Namco will have a showcase again. No time just yet, but again, they have stuff to say that they need to showcase in order to say it. This doesn't even include all the stuff that will be popping up from the Summer Games Fest. From our very own, you hear me, from Jeff Q. He's not ours, although I love the guy. Yeah, he's not ours. A couple of
Jeff Q is everyone. Okay.
Well,
I
personally feel he's mine, but I hear you.
Okay, no, you don't want to share him. Okay.
June 11th, we'll have Netflix Geek Week, which will debut.
Oh, I see what they did. Geek Week.
Geeked Week. Like past tense. Like somebody got geeked.
Oh, I don't want to get geeked. Fuck
I don't want to get geeked. But anyway, Netflix Geeked Week will be on June 11th at 12 p.m. Coke Primetime, which is actually Coke Media, which is another publisher.
You're gonna get cucked out.
Coke Media, if I'm not mistaken, is this one I'm very interested in. So 3 p.m. on June 11th. This is, I'm not mistaken, this is the Friday. I'm very interested in this one because Coke Media is if I'm not mistaken, is the parent company of oh my god, what's these guys' name? Dear Lord, it's killing me. The guys who were acquiring all the freaking studios. Oh my goodness, hold on.
They're acquiring Microsoft?
No, not studios. No, not studios. Property. They were buying up a bunch of IP. They own Kings of. They released Kingdoms of Amalur.
Not Take-Two.
It's something like that, right? Yeah.
Man.
Hold on. I'm gonna look it up right now. Yeah, Coke.
It is, before you find it, I want to tell you, it is Acclaim. No, it's not Acclaim, damn it. But it's like them.
Yeah, no. Subsidiaries. Let me see.
It is
Deep Silver is one of them. Oh my god, no lo puedo creer. I cannot remember this freaking
Come
name,
on.
dude.
Come on, man. Come on, you can do this.
Nordic. THQ Nordic. There it
is. THQ. Toys Headquarters.
Is.
I knew it.
God. Yes.
I knew it. I was just waiting for you to say it.
I'm dear Lord, I couldn't remember the name. So I'm curious to see that because they have like 50 games in progress for the longest time. So I'm curious to see what the hell.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
Devolver Digital also makes a comeback, of course. 4:30 p.m. on June 12th, which will be after the Ubisoft conference. Back 4 Blood will have its own showcase at 5 p.m. on June 13th. Steam is going to have something. Steam Next Fest on June 16th.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, that does sound weird. 6 days and hundreds of demos. Okay.
Hundreds. That's
what
good.
It says. You know.
Okay. They haven't. I mean, what they're gonna have a Valve Fest? They don't have. They don't make their own games anymore. So.
Well, they did make the recent one, the VR one. Alex. Yeah. So, we'll see. Maybe they have. Obviously, they're going to be showing off some stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to catch you because all these dates and stuff were not available last week when we did our preview. Mm-hmm. So I just want to kind of throw that out there for you guys so you can, So we're going to make predictions, ridiculous predictions, as to what will occur. Considering that neither Dream Twister or myself actually work within the industry. These are pie in the sky. This is really more what I want them to do.
We just want to have fun with this one.
Absolutely.
So if you hear something that makes no sense, you're like, that makes no sense. Well, that's the point.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're going
Yeah.
for. Matter of fact, that means we nailed it. All right. So let's go ahead and start with what?
Nintendo's gonna release a new console, a new Switch.
The-
That's gonna be my
You think
opening.
they'll show it? Well, anyway, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, let's start with what we always start with, and that is what we have been up to, sir. What you been doing other than having milkshakes?
Milkshake. My milkshake brings all the. No, wait, never mind.
Toys?
No. What have I been doing? Well, what else am I going to be doing? Of course, I'm going to still be playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I've already put 92 hours in that game.
Dear
And
Lord.
it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. I am enjoying this game a whole lot, you know. And you know what the crazy thing is? I bet I'm starting to graze the last, you know, like the third part of it, but in the game it feels like I just got to the middle part. Like it almost feels like this is not done yet.
Damn.
And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because, you know, there's like nothing particularly on the horizon that I'm like, you know, trying to get this done you know, quick. And Valhalla to me is a game that I mean I can stop playing and just come back to it, you know, later on, which is what I did because I started this game back in November when it was released last year or something like that. Anyway, but I am having I'm having a blast with it, and I've already spoken in you know what bothers me though? I am going to mention this. For all the enjoyment that I'm getting out of it, I still recognize that there are some areas where this game is still not as polished as I would have liked it to be. It almost reminds me of
even on where are you playing this? You on PC?
I'm playing it. Well, I'm playing it on both, actually. Believe it or not, which is
you did say that, yeah.
an incredible feat upon itself of what Ubisoft has been able to accomplish here. I was just mentioning recently. I think I texted you that not for nothing, but it to me it is incredibly satisfying to be able to start the game. I was playing on PS5, you know, for a little bit, and then save it there. And if I am the next day, I'm on my PC already. I can just jump in the PC. The game will recognize keyboard and mouse if I want to play. Even though this type of games I tend to still stick to controllers, but it will recognize the keyboard and mouse as soon as I just move them. And I can continue, you know, playing from there the story. And the game loads exactly where I left off without a problem. It's kind of amazing the way that they are leveraging that, you know, Uplay, if that's what's it's still called, that Uplay, say a cloud system, you know.
Yeah.
So that part, that that part I really like, and it makes me think that, you know, when for games where I either have gotten one of the copies for free, like I got Valhalla, the PC version, because it came bundled with a piece of hardware that I bought, or fuck it, on games that I really enjoy a lot, like, so let's say Division 2 or something like that, for example. I don't think I would mind you know, buying both versions, you know, because that, if I mean, not that I would necessarily recommend it or anything like that. This is definitely has a, you know, a level of ridiculousness, because why would you, you know, double dip necessarily? But fuck it, sometimes if the price is like, I bought Valhalla for $30 on PlayStation 5 when it came out. PlayStation 5, it had recently came out, and there was a crazy deal for half the price, and I was like, yeah, I'll jump on it. I'm playing that on PC and I'm enjoying it, and I want to see how it runs on PS5, and it did very well. So I can play on the big screen when I feel like it, or I can play it on the ultra wide screen when I want to, you know, sit down from on my computer. So that you know, that's just really good. Now they need to implement it on other games. Like, I hope they implement it for Far Cry, and I really wish they would have brought it to Division, because unfortunately, in the Division 2, you still have that separation of PC players and console players, which I guess it makes sense because of the multiplayer component of that game. But still, um, but aside from that, I played very little, so I don't have a review of this, but I did dip my toes a little bit into. I want to say probably mentioned this before. Did I mention that I started playing Blasphemous?
No.
Yes. Well, I
No.
started playing Blasphemous actually.
Whoa. Okay. Okay.
I must up with probably like 2 hours on it, so far. I am really digging this game, sir.
Yeah.
I like what the art style of this game. That's kind of like everything has a very hardcore religious connotation, but
Mhm.
not super quiet, but it's still like very close. And the gameplay in itself, the fighting, it's very fun. It is it's one of those hard games. I mean, I don't think it's super hard or anything like that, but it's gonna be challenging.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
not.
not.
It's not. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely not. Like a Dark Souls or anything like that, but it's
No.
very
No.
similar. It has a lot of similarities.
Yes.
But yeah. 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 I'm glad, man. I'm
Yeah. It's
glad.
man. I really liked it. Funny thing is, I noticed there's a character on that game that has the same name that my dad has, and my dad has a very particular name. And I've never seen that that name, uh, you know, before. And in this game, it actually has a character name with the same name. I was like, whoa, okay. Now this game was made by, I believe, the developers are from Spain, right? If I'm not mistaken.
The Game Kitchen. Let me see. That's a
I
good
think
question.
that's what I heard. Like, this game was made by.
I mean, it looks and feels like it came out of. I mean, if there's any location,
Yeah,
Spain and whatever, very
he,
into.
like he has very European
Mhm.
tendencies. It seems like, but anyway, like I said, I haven't played enough to give it a score or anything like that, and I'm gonna try to stick to it. No promises, because I always say that, and then something happens or something comes along and just makes me like forget that I was actually playing this, and next thing I know, it's like, oh shit, I need to go back to it, maybe I never end up doing so. But yeah. But that's it. I really don't have much that I've played. I did watch a couple of movies. One of them closes the rewatch of the Marvel movies, and of course was the one that was missing, that I was missing, which is Spider-Man Far From Home,
Mhm.
which um I uh have to say, I'm not very happy with the way that I had to end up, getting this movie to be able to see it. I was ready to rent it, but of course, fucking corporate greed of these companies would not let me rent it anywhere. Like this movie, I didn't expect it to be on Disney Plus. That's fine, I checked to see if it was on Amazon to rent. I couldn't. So I hate to say it, but I had to use nefarious methods to be able to see it, because I was not going to not to close this chapter on this Marvel rewatch and not watch that last one, or at least the last one that has come so far. And I remember that I liked that I liked that movie when it came out. I wasn't a big fan of the first one, if you remember, of
Homecoming.
Spider-Man. Homecoming,
Mhm.
exactly. I did like this one better. On second rewatch, it still holds. Like I still say that I enjoyed it enough for what it was, for what it was trying to do, and I give it a 3.0, which I believe that it is
Good.
it's good on our
Yeah.
scale, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
That it
so
is.
it gets 3.0. And then the other movie that I watched actually came out more recently, and I love the fact that for this one I wanted to get the full movie theater experience. So I actually went to the movies. Wow, yes, I know. Crazy me, crazy person, right? Going to the movie theaters. Ah! No, actually it was great to experience to have that experience again to sit, to sit down. We were very, the accommodations were that you still retain a good level of social distancing, and just the fact of being in the movie theater again after like over a year,
For a
it was
while, yeah.
so, yeah. Yeah, it was something special. It reminds me of the fun of movies, and why, even though with this recent movement from this, from studios and streaming services, has started, and of course the freaking pandemic has started spreading doom and gloom to the movie theaters, and rightfully so. Some cinemas have kind of like folded already. um this it reminds me, it reminded me, or give me hope rather, that well, like once most of the population is finally vaccinated and things start returning to a semblance of normalcy. uh I think a lot of people are going to flock the theaters again, because that experience is not going anywhere. you know this is of course after experiencing going to the movies. But what the hell movie did I watch? Right, that's what I to talk about. I watched A Quiet Place 2.
Oh,
Yes, A Quiet Place 2. Well, I don't have to talk about what A Quiet Place, A Quiet Place movie was. It was a really good movie. Um, but if you ask me, like, did I enjoy this one? Yes, I did. I don't think it's better than the first one, but then again, I was also like, I liked the movies, but I wasn't like, oh my god, like I really need to watch this. Like this is, it's not particularly a premise that I found like super 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 interesting that I need to watch it. I just watched it one time, and because I think either you recommended it or someone recommended it, and I enjoyed it, and it was
hmm
fine. Uh, the problem that I have with this particular movies is that I I personally find them to be a little too slow.
hmm
And it's not that the movies themselves, that it's not like that they're paced slow. It's not like they go elaborated, or that the movie is too long or anything like that. But it's called A Quiet Place. Most of the movie, there's no dialogue happening. There's just actions happen, or when I say actions, I mean like menial things happen, like people walking to a location, or encountering something. And yes, there are some moments that they have you kind of like at the edge of your seat almost, but when you already know that the movie is that, like, that's not surprising. That's kind of expected that it's going to give you that, because what else is going to give you? It's certainly not going to win any awards for the writing or the performance,
yeah.
or the the any dialogues or anything like that. It's not going to give you any inspirational quotes or anything like that. The fucking movie's mostly quiet, and that's what bored me a little bit. But it was okay. It was not bad. I will not call it mediocre or anything like that. I think it was good. So I'll 3.0 it also.
Oh,
Feel safe.
3.0.
Yeah, feel safe. 3.0 out of 5 for those of you that don't know our scale.
If you don't know yet, then I don't know what to do with you people.
New people, yeah, people that have listened for the first time,
Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
look in the past. You'll find the
No, don't
our
look in the
scale
past.
there.
Look at eyes towards the future.
Okay, fine.
Definitely don't listen to our previous episodes. They're a catastrophe.
Yeah, because we get
You're gonna be
better as you
disappointed.
go. Yeah, if you're gonna go backwards, you're gonna see us digress a little bit.
Don't make any promises you can't keep.
No, I think no, you're probably right. All right, so fair enough. Real quick, you had
Wow.
mentioned the Game Kitchen. Yes, it is in Spain, the south of Spain, a little town called Seville or Seville. And yeah, it's a very beautiful city, dude. By the
Yeah.
way, they're nope, never mind. They're not hiring. Okay. Moving on. I was like, hey, they're
Everybody
hiring.
else is.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised.
Good stuff. Well, I did play a few things. So
Sir, yes, you did. Talk to us.
So first, a quick thing about Returnal. I was at the point of like ready to say, okay, I think I've reached my fill with this game, and I wasn't getting frustrated. I just knew that I was in the last biome, and I'm just like, man, this last biome is challenging. You know what I mean? And the last
Man,
three
fuck
are
this.
like, yeah. And a part of me was like, well, if you look at the trophies, like less than or right around 25% of people who've played the game have even made it that far. You know what I mean? Or less than, I should say, less than a quarter have even made it that far. So a part of me is like, well, I've did better than most, but then so real quick, I did put it down for a hot minute, and I jumped into Dreams because I got that on a sale. It was a deep sale, and I was like, you know what? If there's any time to see what the hell they have going on here, it would be now. You know what I mean? I really didn't want to go into anything like anything meaningful at that point. So Dreams, for the record, is I don't know who this game is for.
Definitely not for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't know. So first off, I want to give credit to credit. There are some really, really good creations in here.
Oh yeah, that's how they done it.
Yeah, how they done it. What there's not a lot of is like the games, like because people have made these little mini games, and I've tried at least a dozen at this point, and they're pretty shit. You know what I mean? However, people who have made shorts, like almost like movie shorts.
Oh,
these things are like pretty legit. It's like these guys are pretty. So obviously in a movie shoot you don't control anything. Although I guess in some, I think some of them do have like some interaction you can do, but most of the time you're just watching it. It's just something they created and you play it. You just hit play basically, like you would any video or whatever. Those are pretty cool, and I've that's kind of a rabbit hole because I constantly falling into those. That's the rabbit hole I fell into Dreams, where I'm like, I'm appreciating a lot of these, these guys, these people who are creating this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know how they do it. I took a look at the tools set. You know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, I have no idea what to do with this.
Okay, I am not touching this part of the game for any reason whatsoever.
Nothing at all. I was like, I have the first thing how to do anything here. But credit to those who do. I have, like I said, the games. I haven't played anything that looks like. I remember back in the day they had the game that looked like Dead Space. I didn't do any of those. I just said, show me the best stuff you have available that's out there now that being rated well. And they're not the games. Not very good. I mean, they're mini games anyway, but at the same time, I'm like, these are. I don't know. I feel like those were a waste of time, but the shorts and the images, there's some who have just created like these stills that are gorgeous, bro. I'm just like, how the hell do they make this? I mean, people are literally making art. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, this is pretty cool. Is that worth the price of the game?
True.
Probably not. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I mean, I definitely can't stand on that side of it. But anyway, I dabbled in that just to whatever. And then I couldn't. I had to go back to Returnal, dude. Returnal is
You have to return to
I had to
Returnal. I hear
return to
you.
Returnal, yeah. Returnal is easily my the front runner for my game of the year.
Wow.
I feel like to preface this by saying, because I know that people have had some technical issues with the game. I've had nothing happen except for one crash that happened on day 2, and I wasn't even that far into the first biome when it happened. You know what I
Right.
mean? Since that, nothing. There has been no errors, no issues. It hasn't crashed. It hasn't done anything crazy. It hasn't nothing. The game has played perfectly for me. So, preface it by saying that, why I'm saying, I know that there has been issues, but I've experienced none of them. So because of
Yeah.
that, it's like, yeah, this is I can say that this is my game of the year because it hasn't done anything to me.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one. Two, I don't know what it is about the gameplay. The gameplay loop is so freaking addictive, dude. I die, I come back, and I just run right into the room again. I don't even waste time. I just, as she stands up, I'm like, I'm running again. You know what I mean? I'm not even, anyway. So, long story to say, I finally actually beat Return. I actually finished the game.
Yay!
And believe it or not, I'm not even gonna lie, I went right back into it shortly thereafter. I
I,
was like,
I,
after I finished the game, I was like, well, let me see what else I can do in this game. And
oh, you need to
um,
get this. You need to get the true ending now.
so yes, so slight spoilers here for anybody who doesn't want to hear this. So spoilers for the next couple minutes here, but the the you have to play it again and beat it again to get what is quote unquote the real ending. Now,
I was just kidding. I
no, no,
swear
no,
to God, I was
no,
so.
no. It's
I was
actually
just kidding.
so.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
you keep everything you already have.
Oh, sure.
So
That's
yeah.
gonna help on this type of game.
No, it does, because you don't have to go unlocking stuff again, and you're able to again, slight spoilers here if anybody's still listening, but biomes 1 through 3 and biomes 4 through 6 are in two different spots essentially.
Mm,
So if you want to go back to biome 1, you have to go to a specific spot, and then you have access to those first 3 biomes. And if you want to go back to the other one, you have to go. You know what I mean?
mm.
There's a way of running through it straight if you want to, but once you've beat the game, you're kind of just going where you need to go to, and then you got to do this collecting thing, which seems a little ridiculous. I ended up just YouTubing or what's the difference in that? But anyway, YouTubing the secret, not the secret ending, but the actual whatever, and it's not
Uh,
really that much. It's a little bit more of the thing. There's nobody else to beat. It's just doing it again.
yeah.
You have to collect certain things and then beat the game again. You know
Are
what I
the
mean?
game? Are they upping the difficulty at that
No,
time, or are they just
no, it's still the same.
okay?
Everything's the same. You know what I mean? It's
Gotcha.
just these items that are not in your initial playthrough, because you're walking through areas. You're like, I've been here before. This item was never here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it only unlocks when you beat the game, and now you go collecting these
Does
things.
it satisfyingly at least gives you a reason for the loop? Does it explain that in a satisfying, like, oh, okay, I see the reveal or the mystery, or okay, this is the end or something?
It In some ways it does. It is
Hmm.
still very
Cryptic.
not cryptic, but very based in a lot of metaphors and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's not going to be the ending you're expecting. It's way more yeah, I guess you can say
No, I
it's a
mean,
little more cryptic. It's going to be
I
it's
don't
going to
I don't want it to be I don't want it to give me a technobabble reason for it, because that's not a reason. That's like, well, I just make some shit up. But at the same time, I don't want it to be so much level of abstract that it's like, what the fuck did I just see? You didn't really
you're going to
explain
have to
anything.
yeah, you're going to have to there's I mean, honestly, if you read every document, you kind of already know what's going on.
Mm,
And what you see in the story cutscenes, you're gonna understand what happened. Um, but it's not gonna spell it out for you. It's not just gonna say,
mhm,
"Hey, here's what happened." It's gonna present you, and it's actually pretty interesting, um, and almost perfect for recent events in my life, if you will. Um,
mhm,
in the sense that you know there is a struggle that's happening for Celine in the background, which they touch upon it in the early biome, so that's not a spoiler or anything like that. And so once it's revealed, you're like, you kind of understand. And it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I can't say it's when it comes to the story, I can't say it's the
mhm.
best story, because a lot of the time, it still remains very, you kind of putting the pieces together yourself, and
Uh-huh.
in some ways, filling in some blanks, if you will. But
Mm.
other than that, I mean, the story, it's okay. You're either gonna like it
It
or
works.
yeah, it works for me. It definitely works for me.
Okay.
And so, but dude, hands down, it's the gameplay. The gameplay loop. This is my first off. I've come full circle here. I want to say this. There was a time, actually probably recently, where I was like, I don't like
Mhm.
roguelike games. I don't like roguelike games. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't. It's just a silly whatever. It's a silly premise. I'm not whatever. I'm not into it. Dead Cells was the first one that said that changed my. It was the first one that challenged me on that actual thought.
Mhm.
Hades completely reinvented what I was what a roguelike can even be.
Mhm.
With an overall narrative, you know what I mean? That did it.
A
And here,
roguelite?
roguelite, yeah.
Okay.
And then here is another one where it doesn't have the narrative that Hades has, but there is a purpose behind it. There is, and this is, you know, AAA quality roguelite. And it's the first one I've ever completed. I've never completed a roguelite. I have not
Okay.
beaten Hades. I've not beaten Dead Cells, because at some point the grind becomes a little bit of a grind. It's like,
Yeah.
or the RNG
It,
actually becomes a little bit of a grind. I really should say, because at that point it's like, you know, I'm just hoping I get something that helps. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
It's the slot machine,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
difference here I can say is I learned towards the end, and if anybody is playing this and is running into any frustrating walls because you're not getting the weapon, because I've heard like after I beat it, I started looking stuff up on it, reviews and stuff like that, and there's some people who have issues with the fact that they'll get a weapon and just they get a couple weapons and they're like, no, this run sucks, I'm not gonna be, and then they stop, they kill themselves, and I was like, what are you doing? That's not how this works. you know I made every run. Like some people made runs that were just to grind or something like that. And for me, every run was a chance at taking it. You know what I mean? And the difference is I learned later on was, whatever weapon you start with, that first weapon, then that's what that's essentially what you need to build around. The items you
Mhm.
get from there need to enhance that weapon. If it's the spit maul, which is basically the version of a shotgun, then you need to be up close. So if
But
you're
you
up
always
close,
started with the little pistol, which was the annoying part of the game.
you can literally beat the game with the pistol. The pistol, by the way, is also, and I mentioned this before, the weapons are upgrading on their own. They're
Right.
unlocking new things. So the pistol, not my starting pistol now is nowhere near the starting pistol you have in when you first start the game.
Right.
It is
But
up.
it's not as good as all the other weapons that you're getting.
Perhaps it doesn't mean you can't beat the game without. You can still beat the game with the pistol. Now, it's just going to take longer because you're going to be, it's a pistol,
Yeah.
but it can still
Hmm.
be done. Um, but with, like I said, with the spit maul, like, just an example, the spit maul, right? So the shotgun comes up. Like, okay, that's the gun that I'm going to, and when I say the first gun, I mean the first gun you walk into after the pistol is what I'm trying to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted to do it with the pistol personally. Although you can, again, because as you know, the pistol does come up later on as an upgraded weapon and stuff like that. But anyway, so let's say for instance you're starting with a shotgun. Now you're going to be close. So the items that you pick up or the items that you buy from whatever, um, they have to be based on that. So it's going to be more, you're going to really focus on getting some more health, some more protection, some stuff that, since you're already going to be up close, stuff that upgrades your melee. That's the focus of that particular run. On the next run, you have the Hollow Seeker. So that's a much more further away. So you can can play around with other what do you call it, items and stuff like that, and maybe play around with a couple parasites, because there was at times I started really using parasites, because I'm like, this particular run, I have a gun that I know I'm going to use and I'm going to be far away, so I'm not really going to use melee. So if 50% of my melee damage goes, oh well, that's fine, because I need that other upgrade. You know what I mean? And when you start looking at it that way, the game just really opens up, dude. It really, really opens up. I've spoken about this game a lot already. I feel like I shouldn't really speak too much more about it, but I really, really love this game. I when I was replaying it after beating it, I went through biomes 1, 2, and 3 on one run. Just like I just started it over just to see, and it's amazing how you realize how good you've gotten when I'm flying around taking out everybody in those first 3 biomes, because the last 3 biomes have hardened me in some way to make me move differently and stuff like that, and it's just so fucking cool, bro. It's just so fucking cool to realize that. Anyway, excellent game. I highly recommend, but I get it if you don't like challenging games like that, or the RNG factor or anything like that. I get it. But man, was my time with it. I really, literally felt a little hurt when I uninstalled it, because I uninstalled it. I was like, well, I'm not going to be playing now. I really need to focus on something else. And it's almost 60 gigs, almost 65 gigs actually, with all the updates. So, anyway. So moving on, I did bite the bullet and ended a particular boycott or argument or whatever the case may be.
No, you did. Then.
I did. I went against my morals. Yeah, I don't know why I did this, but no, I bought the Mass Effect Legendary collection.
Oh, yeah, that's an EA game.
It sure is.
Oh, wait a minute. We don't care about that anymore. Okay,
no, not anymore. And
I think they got the message already.
I think they understand. Damage, Yeah. Considering what they've been through, I think I've proved my point.
Yes, I believe so. Yes, they felt your wrath.
Yeah. They're like, he didn't buy Jedi Fallen Order. He didn't buy Squadrons. Nope. He has no. We need to fix this somehow. Mass Effect. Let's do the Mass Effect thing. He'll come back for that.
Able to.
Yeah. He'll come back for that. And I did.
And come back, you did.
I sure did. I am in the mid. I'm probably, I want to say a good 10-ish, maybe a little more hours into Mass Effect 1. Obviously, I'm playing this in order. I created a new FemShep. And as I say FemShep now, I realize I'm not even sure if that's proper anymore, but I'm still going to say FemShep.
Oh, fuck that. No. It's a FemShep. So
I've created, I've created a new FemShep named Giselle, because I don't know, it sounds nice.
Is she a Dominican merengue singer?
No, she's not even a little bit. But, so anyway, I'm playing the game. I'm enjoying it. If anybody played Mass Effect, you kind of already know what's going on here. This is my first time playing the first Mass Effect. I played Mass Effect 2 and 3 because they released that for PlayStation consoles. Mass Effect 1 never came in early. I think it was for the longest time, it was actually an Xbox exclusive. Eventually came over at first as a form of a digital comic that you can make like choices. It was about 20 minutes long, and based on those choices, Mass Effect 2 had, was adjusted in some way.
Hey, that was that was the PlayStation version there for you.
Yeah.
You get to choose your starting point. With this comic.
Exactly. Exactly. So
I commend them. It for what it was, it was worth it. And
I agree.
also,
I agree.
I'm
It filled in blanks. So
yeah. After my original Mass Effect 1 uh save game stayed trapped on my Xbox 360 and I didn't have a way of recuperating my character, I made use of that little comic because it worked. It worked.
yeah,
It was actually the story.
it does. It does.
Yeah.
It's exactly. It honestly, it's obviously it's a very truncated version of it, but it
Yes.
gives you the
Very.
opportunity to make the big choices so that those what would normally carry over would carry over for you. So it does make sense.
Yeah.
But no, for now I'm actually doing the actual story, and a lot of it I kind of know from the comic, but obviously there's a lot of little details, which is where the good stuff lies. Um,
Mhm.
I'm enjoying it so far, mostly for the story. I don't care for the gunplay. It is very a product of its time.
Yeah.
The
And that was
maps are the
adjusted
most
actually.
annoying.
It used to be a lot worse.
Really? Oh dear lord.
Yeah. No, that massive. What you're playing
Mhm.
is a modernized version of what that game actually was, especially when it came to the actually to the fighting itself. It was very RPG ish. So more often than not, you will be point blank at the enemy firing, and you see that the lasers hit or the ballistics hit him then directly, miss. It's
Oh
like
wow.
what the fuck? Like how?
Yeah. Well, there's a
Yeah.
lot of here. The way the menus,
Mhm.
obviously, I believe are most likely built off of the original menus.
Right.
But I gotta say, I'm like, there's some stuff here. I'm like, man, this was early. This is just wasn't completely thought through, because it's like, for instance, when I go to select, I don't know, select the main rifle, right? And I'm selecting, what do you call it, the upgrades I want to put on it, and I'm just
Uh-huh.
really scrolling to. Oh, thank you. Look at this banana.
Your shake
Ooh!
got your
Good,
you got
good
your
job,
shake.
sir. Sir,
Shake it.
yeah. Look at
Don't
this
break it.
with whipped cream and everything. Ooh, thank you, sir. Thank you
Oh,
so
that's
much.
bad. Yeah, I will avoid that with green, sir.
No, it's all about the whipped cream, my friend.
No, it's not. Please don't.
So, so anyway, so I'm just cycling through the upgrades, right? Like I view it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm viewing it, but if I'm not actually viewing it. To view it, you have to view the list. You're actually
Uh,
selecting. So in other words, if I have, let's say, the anti-personnel rounds, which is at the top of the list, that's what I currently have installed in the gun. So I bring up the
uh,
menu to look at what other ammo I have. Like, I don't want anything. If I back out of it, whatever the last item I was looking at now is replaced onto the field.
no,
So I have to scroll all the way back up, make sure I'm back on the anti-personnel thing, and then back out. So those are little things where you're like, okay, this obviously does not work. You know what I mean? And it's annoying. It's annoying to the point where I'm like, I don't even care. I don't even care. We're gonna use the same personnel bullets for the rest of this fucking game. Not even gonna look at it, that menu. The upgrade system is it's again, all of it's a product of its time. So I'm not in
it
any way
is. Yeah,
judging
for
it
the most part.
negatively. Clearly, they made, I playing part 2 and 3. I know that they've made strides to improve those things, but it's just
Yeah.
funny seeing it, and a little frustrating at times, particularly when I'm like, where do I need to go? Because my little mini map doesn't have anything marked as where I need to go. I have to bring up the map, and if I'm in the area, I'll see where I need to. You know what I mean? It's just like little things
Yes.
like that.
Very annoying.
That have been addressed. Games like that don't do that anymore.
Mhm.
But it's just funny going back to it. Funny and frustrating. But so anyway, I am enjoying it. I don't really have much to say other than so far it's cool. Liking the characters. Definitely working back my relationship with Liara, because that's just the way that was.
You're
And
gonna do the same the same decisions you made? You're not
remember,
gonna
I
take
did it.
any
It was done in a comic. Now I need to see it for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. I'm just saying.
But remember, this was the scene that Fox News pretty much told that this game was X-rated. Literally, that happened. That's not an exaggeration. Look it up.
Oh no, I know.
This game was pretty. I mean, they were alerting all parents. Regardless of the fact that the game, I believe it was it rated M for? I could be wrong. Anyway,
it should be rated M. That has to be rated M.
Yeah, it had. Well, yeah, it's a lot of shooty. That's right. But yeah, this game was a rape simulator. A sexual like predator sim, or it was the worst. So yeah. Probably, I'm not sure if you want to go into, because I mean, this game makes House Party look like Hello Kitty.
So
House Party the game, not the movie.
So I'm pretty sure I'm okay with it. So, but yes, I'm looking
with Liara. Oh
and
my God.
Yeah. That's I don't know what
Isn't
it was.
she like an underage alien? She's only 400,000 years old.
I think she's just over 100. Come on now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Over 100, you sicko.
I know. Such a baby. But anyway, so that's looking forward to that. Already had to shoot down the guy. I can't remember his name, Caden, because he already started expressing interest. Because I have femships, and I'm just like, dude, chill the fuck out, man. We the peeps, so we're not gonna talk. What the fuck? Come on now. So anyway. I know this sounds funny for anybody who's never played Mass Effect, but
here's your opportunity. You should play it because I mean, yes, it is a game of its time. It's not gonna have like the latest and greatest graphics, but I thought I saw what you were playing, and I thought it looked okay for our remake. I mean, they certainly could have done a lot more, but it is good that it's available to play now, because that's just the entryway into the other better Mass Effects, Mass Effect 2. I have my reservations on 3, but I didn't think 3 was shit either. So I'm not on that camp either. Fuck that.
Yeah, I didn't think I've said it before. I won't say it again, but I didn't think that the ending was that.
No, it was not
horrible. You know what I mean?
It was just not like offensive.
I get it.
Anything.
I get it that. It kind of set things up to make it feel that way, but it's also your own expectations, but also kind of led by BioWare's BS.
Well,
by them saying what they said, but yeah, I never. In the end, I still wasn't. And watching the updated version, I was like, okay, so it's a little bit better, but still not really. You don't really change much, but anyway, looking forward to that. I don't know if I'm going to just play it straight through, or if I'm going to stop after 1, take a break, play something else, and then come back to 2. We'll see. Because there's things that I'm interested in playing, and who knows if I just get Mass Effect out or something like that. You know what I mean?
So I mean, those games are lengthy. So
they are.
Especially
and I'm kind of doing a lot of the side stuff. So I know that I'm already adding to, to the length of it because of it. So. Anyway, so that's all I've been playing. What I've watched 3 things. So I'm just gonna quickly go through these. First, I watched a movie called Those Who Wish Me Dead, which is I know it's a strange movie. A movie with Angelina Jolie. It actually came out on HBO Max and in the theater. So it came out released at the same time. Their thing that they're doing all this year. This movie was okay. It was,
are you 3.0ing it?
No, I don't even think I get 3.0. I would probably say 2.5. I would say, I'd say 2.5. Okay. It's not bad in any way, but it does have its, I don't know, it's moments where you go, yeah, I guess that's probably what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Essentially what it is,
Was it predictable when you say you?
It was kind of. There was some stuff I didn't see coming, but overall, it had the showdown at the end, the whole everything you expect. But so what the story is about is first off, there is Angelina Jolie. She's a, what do you call that? people go to the fire watch. What are they like? They're out
A
in the
ranger?
woods and yeah, like a park ranger. Yeah. So she's part of this team that does that, and clearly she has a history, which it kind of touches on, and you get the little bits of it. She's a little bit of a problem child, I guess you can say.
Mm.
And she runs into a kid who's on the run. He didn't know. Turns out her father was killed, and this is all in the trail. And apparently he's being hunted down by a bunch of, I don't know, hitmen. The
Zombies?
kid, yeah, the kid's being hunted because the father had a bunch of information that he was going to release regarding a company, and the company said, "All right, we're going to take him out." And so he ended up going on the run, and she ends up mixed in with it. It is the most ridiculous premise in many ways,
Sure.
It was just enough to get get the whole, because obviously they're out in the woods and there's a fire and the whole thing. Basically, this movie has killed any chance of the actual movie Firewatch from the game. Like the game, yeah, it's killed any chance, because this is basically kind of what that ends. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're never gonna see a Firewatch movie, and if you really do, just watch this one. You'll be
Just watch
fine.
this one, which is okay.
Which is okay, just like Firewatch. People, I'm sorry, it was just
There you
okay.
go. That's true.
I know a lot of people loved it, but I was like,
That's right.
it was alright. Another movie I rewatched actually, which I really enjoyed, and that's kind of the reason why we decided to rewatch it. Was the Monuments Men. I don't know if you've seen this one, but if you haven't, I would definitely suggest you watch it. Have you seen this one?
No.
So the Monuments Men is based on a true story of an unlikely platoon of soldiers who actually aren't soldiers at the very beginning, but who go. Their purpose is towards the end of World War II, and their purpose is to protect and secure the art that was stolen by the Nazis before they get destroyed or anything like that, because they're trying to preserve this art so that the world can have this art after the war is over. It is a movie with a lot of stars, believe it or not. You have George Clooney, who's also the director, Matt Damon, Bill Murray, John Goodman.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's
where was this gem hidden?
Well, it's the funny thing about it is that it got okay reviews, and I remember watching it going, I kind of like this movie. I actually really dig it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know why I just got it. I have to look it up again to see what it is. Watched it again, and I'm still like, I like this movie. I like the cast. I like everything that's happening. I get it. It's World War II, and they're not in the front line. You know, they're doing something else in World War II. You know what I mean?
That's a good premise to have. That's definitely an interesting aspect. Yeah.
Well, it's based on a true story. These are a group of guys who put themselves together to do this because they felt it was important. Because if not, and if you know anything about it, you know that Hitler was collecting a lot of stuff. He was stealing a lot of stuff, destroying a lot of stuff. I don't know if you know, but he fancied himself a painter. Hitler, yeah, and so you can imagine if he would have gotten hold of all these stuff that you can, people who go to Italy now to see, you know what I mean? Yeah. All that stuff will be gone. Doesn't exist. People to go to Paris, to the Louvre, to see all these, paintings and stuff, Leonardo da Vinci and all that, and they'll be gone because he destroyed them all. Can you imagine that? You know what I mean? That entire history would be gone. So that was the purpose of the guys, and that was, I was saying, why it was important. And you think about it now, if they didn't do that, where would those things be? Would you even know? You know what I mean?
Even know, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it's a great movie. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So I definitely give this one. I mean, I guess great would be too much. I would definitely say this is a 3.5. Very enjoyable. A lot of fun. Characters are really good. Yeah, definitely.
You digged it. You digged it.
Yeah, came out in 2014, by the way, so it's not old, but not recent. Okay. And then finally, I caught the next chapter of the Fast and the Furious, Furious 7.
Oh, yay!
Was waiting for that reaction. Yeah. And
I was
so this
waiting
one,
for us to talk about Fast and the Furious. I've been in the edge of my seat here waiting. Tell
I
us
don't know.
more.
I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know how far you got into the series. Damn, this banana thing is so good. Anyway,
The Zero movie.
okay. So, I have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is a fun fucking movie right here. It is.
You have said that of all of them.
Ridiculous.
So,
no,
yeah,
that's not
there's no
true.
difference.
That's not true. And the early ones, I was just like, yeah, this movie was not good. You know what I mean? Fast and Furious 2 was not good. Fast and Furious 4 was really not good.
How about
From
Tokyo
5
Drift?
on, I would definitely say it started to get better. And that's also when The Rock came in. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. You know what I mean? But sorry to say, you know. But anyway, so here, obviously, The Rock is back in this, although he plays not as major a role. The Jason Statham is in. He's the bad guy here, Deckard Shaw, and of course the rest of the crew is back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know, dude. I just these movies are ridiculous. I can. There's just there's no denying it. There's no talking away around it. They are ridiculous, but they are ridiculous fun, and I enjoyed this movie. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun, and
there's no reason to feel bad about that.
it's just and I mean, I haven't seen. Remember, I only saw up to 5. Never seen anything after 5, and I remember seeing 5, going, "Wow, they really turned this thing around." And I guess I never understood why people were still why they were still making it, and 2, why people were still watching this shit. And I kind of get it now. I still have 8 to watch. I haven't watched 8 yet. That's the next one, and obviously 9 will be in the theaters at some point. But
would you go to the theaters? This not would you consider going to the theaters?
I mean, if I go with a group of people who are into it and just kind of saying, "Hey, yeah," because it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what I mean? But if you don't really know what's going on, it's not going to be fun for anybody else but someone who knows. You know what I mean? And I don't know if this is the worth that. You know what I mean? It would depend. Probably not though. If I had to really give you an answer right now, probably not. I won't go to it because I don't rarely go to a theater now. But if I was going to go, I'd want to save a good movie for that experience. And not that this is not a good movie. I'm just saying, I would want something a little bit more substance. And anyway, fun, enjoyable. Vin Diesel still speaks the way he speaks. Paul Walker. Yeah. This is the film. This is the last film with Paul Walker. And there's 7, yeah. There's a little moment towards the end where you can tell that's not Paul Walker. I believe his brother is who jumped in to fill out the part, because he just wasn't looking at the camera. And they've also looked very similar. So it's kind of sad, I'll tell you, because you realize they filmed that. He had already passed away, and they just kind of did that scene, and they're all just looking at him with his wife in the movie and their kid, and he's just he's retiring. He's not going to come. That was the whole premise of that point, was that he's done. He's going to be a father, but obviously what that really means is Paul Walker's dead, and they can't.
We're gonna write him out. Yeah.
Correct.
That's an elegant way of writing him out.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think it was actually pretty well done. There was a scene. Spoilers for anybody who's seen this, but the scene at the end where there's always this thing as to, could Paul Walker's character beat could Brian beat Dom in a race? Because that was, since the very beginning, that was the thing. They're both like the best racers. And Dom was always winning, and so towards the end of this movie has this quick whatever where they're both into the cars and they just drive off, and then of course you see Dom go in one direction and Brian's car go in another, almost like he's going into heaven or whatever, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that's cool. That was actually pretty cool that it was done. So anyway, I already spent way too much time on Fast and Furious. I'm just saying, enjoyable. I understand why now, and kind of looking forward to 8. So
5 out of 5.
no, I didn't say all that. But
that's what I heard.
that no. I would, if I had to give a score, I would give it.
You had to give it a score.
Okay. Honestly, I would probably, it would float somewhere between a 3.5 and a 4. I would say 3.5 to be. I would say it's really good.
It's really
Actually,
good.
if we look at it that way and I read the words, yes, I would say it's really good. 3.5.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun, enjoyable, action packed. It's not dumb like Transformers. Transformers is dumb.
No, Transformers was stupid. Yeah.
This is, hey, and don't get me wrong, there's dumb things in it, you know what I mean? But they play with it. It's fun. The world almost feels like it's cartoonish in some ways, and if you just kind of go, yeah, that's just the world they're in. Why not?
Yeah.
And you have a lot of fun with it. You know what I mean? So, anyway.
So you're buying the game next?
No.
That's part of the goal.
No.
Right?
No, I've heard about that game. we're avoiding at all costs on that one. That may be a game I would only play if I lost a bet. So we'll go with that.
All right, I'll have it queued up just in case for the next time.
Fair enough. All right, and that's all I've been doing.
Wait. Oh. There's one thing I wanted. I left as a surprise. No, it's not a surprise. I forgot actually to mention it.
I figured.
I started watching. Oh my God, was that Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Oh,
just one episode.
Oh, okay,
just one episode. Like I said, I literally started watching it. I was literally watching it now while you were talking about Fast and the Furious and Returnal and all that.
Really?
No. No. So yeah. I sat down with my wife to watch it. Enjoy it for what it was. I definitely interested in seeing more of it. I like the fact that it seems like they are doing something to address, like, okay, what is the world? What is the post-blip world like? Because it has to be like very chaotic in a sense. Like there's gotta be repercussions. Yes, it's beautiful to to get the people that you thought you lost back, but like especially if you moved on with your life, there are also new repercussions that you got to think about, because of that, because of the return of all that people. There is an economic effect also because of it, and I mean, like I said, it's just one episode. I can't really say much of it. I was just surprised that, like, I was very into it. My wife was decidedly less so, I would say. Like, I asked her, like, you ready for episode 2? And she was like, I'm okay now. I'm like, really? She loves watching TV, and she loves when I join her to watch series and stuff. And she was like, no, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm right here. Meanwhile, she had no problem watching all the Marvel movies, even the ones that we didn't care for too much. Also, she had no problem with those. Maybe she's just feeling a little bit marveled out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think at some point you just kind of it all looks the same.
Yeah, I did it with the purpose of actually going into this new series to see, after the surprise of WandaVision, and how much I actually enjoyed that series. I was like, okay, let's do the rewatch and see how that works. And I ended up having an appreciation for a lot of movies that at first glance I thought like, well, there was not much here. And it was like, well, maybe in the sense of the whole story arc of the Infinity Stone, but taken by themselves, it is actually a pretty decent and enjoyable movie. Certainly not Fast and the Furious 7, or anything like that, but enjoyable still.
There's nothing is. I mean, that's what it is.
Not exactly. Nothing like that Oscar-worthy performance of Vin Diesel and Rock and stuff like that.
Oh no. But that's cool.
it.
That's
Just
cool.
want to run that out.
All right. And we're back, guys, with our
Discuss
useless news that you can use.
the news that you can use to abuse. Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Oh.
I was certainly not going to talk about how No Man's Sky is the perfect game, man. The best game ever made. Like, literally by now. You know, how they have Super Mega fixed it. So.
Yeah.
Super Mega fixed it to a fault.
Yeah, I was gonna
That
say
game is so fixed that it just broke itself.
Yeah.
It just broke itself.
I was just gonna say, I was like, you know, at some point, there's a reason for the term. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So at some point, they're gonna go too far, and we're gonna start heading backwards.
Dude, we have ray tracing now. Are you kidding me? We have like freaking like. Forget it. You can jack into this thing now and like live on it like virtually. This thing is the Oasis now. Forget about it.
Maybe that's their plan. Yeah, I think that's their plan. They're trying to create the Oasis.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. My first piece, guys. Little known title. Maybe you've heard of this. God of War Ragnarok has been delayed to the year 2022.
Boo. The year 2022, dude, that's in the future. Like, we're not gonna be alive for that, man.
Yeah,
so it's never gonna come out.
I was not surprised with this at all. Frankly, I was just like, yeah. You guys mentioned. Remember, they mentioned last year when they showed it off, holiday 2021 or something like some of those lines. And I was like,
yeah.
No, I think it just said 2021, and I was like, yeah,
summer 2022.
I don't believe that shit at all. That said, there was some disappointing news that came along with that, and that is that it will not just be coming to PlayStation 5, it will also be coming to PlayStation 4.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a little bit apart. I was just like, no, see, that was supposed to be all PS5.
Yes.
What the hell happened here? Oh, and by the way, Gran Turismo 7 also will be coming to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. So the question of what's the point of the console? So it's like it made sense at first, right? When we think about it, you go, well, hey, look at all the cool stuff it's doing for the because of the lack of, I guess, games that only come for it. Because if you really think about it, right now, what do we have? We have two games: Demon Souls and Returnal. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, the only exclusive like
that you can only play on PlayStation 5.
They have they're other. We're just not thinking of them because it's not the type of games that we normally play. But there's
nope. Those are the only two. Seriously, that's not even a joke.
You already confirmed. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
Those are the only
that
two
makes
games.
me regret my purchase. Then, like, look at the two games. Two games that I'm not gonna play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The next one, which comes out soon, is Ratchet and Clank, and that's it.
Another one that I'm probably gonna skip.
Yeah, I know I'm skipping. I'm not jumping in that one. So, and there lies the thing. We know Horizon Forbidden West. We knew that already. We knew that was going to come to PlayStation 4. That was not a shock when they said it.
Right.
I don't want to say I was upset, but I was definitely like, oh, come on, guys. If you just use the PlayStation 5, man, this is going to be looking crazy. But I was like, that's fine because, hey, God of War is going to be PlayStation 5. They even said it. Sony even said it in the thing. Yeah, that's a PlayStation 5, whatever. And here they are backtracking on it, and it's a little disappointing, especially since after Ratchet and Clank, and even if the end of the year we were to get God of War and the we have no other solely PlayStation 5 exclusives. None.
Yeah. Wow. Who would have thought that was going to be the position? I mean, to explain why, because I can hear some people saying like, well, what's wrong with, why are you guys being so elitist? Not everyone of us have gotten a PS5. Like, I get that 100%. We're not trying to be elitist. That's not the point. And And hopefully, we wish that by the time that those games are out, you already would have already been able to make the jump to PS5 if you so much desire. The reason why we're not happy, not particularly pleased with this decision, is because the same reason we were not happy to hear the decision of a bunch of Xbox games being released for the current, for the current generation and for last generation console, because the last generation console, for the most part, tend to hold back features that otherwise would have been possible on the next generation consoles.
Something they
And
touted that the PlayStation 5 would do, and we've
yes,
seen it in, I mean, well, I've only played Returnal, I haven't played Demon's Souls, but we've seen it in Returnal. We're like, whoa, I can see that this would not play. And the reason it's only here is because the fucking PlayStation 4 would blow up if it tried to fucking run all this shit. You know what I mean?
the seek times of the loading times, the loading times now, you have to understand, the loading times, they're no longer about loading up the stage and letting you play on the stage, on that particular stage. No, the loading times are important for not just the streaming of the of the world around you as you play in it, but also gameplay elements are affected by this. Is the reason why so many, even the best looking games, out there, they tend to have this section where you have to, like, for some reason, you have to, like, very slowly either use an elevator, that takes forever to go up, because obviously the game's loading by the time you're, while you're on the elevator. Or my favorite, which is the one where you have to pass through this, like, very close, very tight crevice in whatever area it is, and the crevices are exactly the same shape and size and everything.
Perfect
Doesn't
enough
matter
for the body to go through. Yep.
doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter which way you're going. If it's a cave or not, doesn't matter. The crevices are always the exact same. You're always, my God, man. Jedi Fallen Order did this ridiculousness so many times that it was laughable. And like, I didn't mention it before, because before it was just, well, that's gaming. That's
we know what it's doing, but it is what normal. It is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now that we have been able to play games that you don't have to, experience, that they actually are not encumbered by that, it kind of looks silly. It kind of looks pointless every time that Lara Croft has to pass through a crevice, or freaking Nathan Drake, or now freaking Kratos. Stuff like that. It's going to prevent those games from really taking advantage of the console. And of course, they're going to spin this. They're going to say, well, no, because we have optimized and we have done this, and you know what? On certain aspects, yes, the PS4 has been already. I think the coding to the PS4 has been already, like, master upside down, inside out. You recently we had an example of it. Ghost of Tsushima. The loading times are ridiculously fast on that game. No reason for them to be that fast, because that doesn't have PS4 does not have an SSD, but yet it does, right? So, or it does load fast. So, but it doesn't matter. We're always gonna have in the back of our heads, like, yeah, but it's never gonna be what it could have been, if it wasn't hindered by the choice of having to put this on last console. And who knows if that is the entire reason why the fucking thing is getting delayed in the first place. Like, well, we're gonna have to, like, do some changes here, because now corporate wants us to release this on PS4.
I would almost bet money that that's what it is. Because it's clear I don't know why, though. So you mentioned, we're not trying to be elitist. We're not trying to be elitist. This is true. We're not trying to be elitist. But, the argument that everybody has a PlayStation 5, and such and such. And so we know, because Sony has mentioned this, that PlayStation 5 has sold better in the time frame that it's been out when compared to the same time frame for PlayStation 4. We know that it's outselling what the PlayStation 4 did when you compare the time. That's the truth. They touted it. They were talking all highly about it. So if that's the case, what does it matter? Because when you look at PlayStation 4 launch titles, you had third party were all multi-platform, yes. But they didn't do that with the first parties. Killzone Shadowfall didn't come also to PlayStation 3. You know what I mean? You look at the stuff they were releasing. We're talking launch stuff, right? Because that's the stuff that usually is cross-platform. The moment you get out of launch window, at that point they're not even looking backwards. Again, yes, the third parties are. Maddens and FIFAs, they're going to be cross-platform because we need them to go as many people. So yes, they are looking backwards, but the first party is not looking backwards. They may do it with one of their launch ones, but outside of that, they rarely do.
At
Why
least
are
not
they
on
doing
Sony,
that now?
Right. Because Nintendo has done it. Microsoft has done it, and but we didn't expect Sony to be doing it. But I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you the reason behind it. So yes, the PlayStation has sold like gangbusters, but I'm willing to bet that there are still, or not willing, I am betting even there are still more PlayStation 4s out there than PlayStation 5.
For sure. I'm not arguing,
right? Yeah, I didn't, I didn't say anything that was out of that. Yeah. So, and the way that they're projecting the production of PlayStation 5, yes, they're trying to ramp them up as much as they can, but because of the chip shortage and all that kind of stuff, they're coming into terms with the fact that they might not have the number of PlayStation 5, consoles that they will want to have for those games to really thrive and sell. And yes, because everybody's that have a PlayStation 5. If you have a PlayStation 5, you're gonna get God of War. Don't even you're gonna get it. Or Gran Turismo, 7 or Horizon Forbidden West. Exactly. You are getting those games for sure. But in their minds, like, well, even though a lot of people have PS5 and they have sold so much, this is still not enough numbers. If we were to release these games, at the end of this year, the sales numbers are not going to be stellar. I mean, yes, it's going to be one. It's probably going to be one-on-one for each console, but they can do so much more with those IPs that I think that's what's holding them. I think that's the reason what they're saying. I think that's the reason why they're saying, well, we're just going to have to make a version for PS4. Why? Because this is God of War. We can't just limit it to the people that own PS5. That's still as much numbers as it is for this IP. That's not enough players yet.
And I mean, yeah, I get, and I can agree with that. The only thing you would have to come back to is, well, then once again, what was the rush for us getting this console? Because we clearly don't need it. Unless we're dying to play Cyberpunk 2077, because obviously that shit can't run on it.
That can only be done on that. Has proven the fact that those games can only be done on next gen console,
and barely
with actual proof. It's like, here, buy this game at $60 and try it on your measly PlayStation 4. Not even the Elite or the Pro.
No, the vanilla.
Called. Yeah, not even. Try the vanilla.
Yeah. So I get the reason for it, but again, it brings to question. Did we need this? Do we still need it? Because again, right now, this is what E3, which Sony at the moment has no presence in, except for maybe whatever Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. Although none of the announced things includes Sony at the moment. So again, you're like, so right now we're gonna get Ratchet and Clank. So right, I think now, right, very very soon, we're gonna get Ratchet and Clank right around the same time that E3 is happening. That's the last exclusive for the PlayStation 5. We know the other two are not going to be. So, and we also know that Sony has no presence at the moment in E3. So we don't know what else is coming. You know what I mean? So that kind of, you know what? Kind of looks shitty. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Microsoft may, I mean, granted, Sony's not there, so it's easy to win when your opponent doesn't even show up. But at the same time, it's like, not only can they win this, they can fly away with this, because you know that Bethesda's going to come out with a good conference, regardless of how their ultimate product is. Their conferences are almost always awesome. Microsoft is going to come out with, you know, they've lately just been pouring games out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and Sony's got nothing. You know what I mean? And not that they don't have. Obviously, they're doing stuff, but they're not going to say or show anything because they don't have anything yet. So it just, the optics look bad. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, what should I be excited for? We know all the stuff that's coming from Microsoft, all the studios they've acquired. God knows they've probably saved up everything to have a massive blowout at this E3. So we may walk away. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we may walk away from E3 going, dear Lord, where can I find myself an Xbox One series, Xbox Series, whatever? You know, you never know, because again, if you're silent and right now, and you're silent with certain things, and with other things, you're giving us the information we don't want, which is, hey, by the way, God of War is also coming to PlayStation 4. Like, so, okay.
It almost sounds like a decision that Jim Bryan will make, you know?
I would say so, right?
It almost sounds like that type of decision that, you know, the current PlayStation CEO would make. The current one, not the previous one.
Yeah. The current one.
The very current one.
It definitely seems that way. And so all I'm going to say, other than the fact that, hey, God of War got delayed because they need to now port it to PlayStation 4, is it's not looking good. You know what I mean? And right now, the ball is in the court of Sony, and they have to now start, like, they need to do something. We got to come out of E3 with something from this, so we know what the rest of 20. Yeah. Because, oh, by the way, they're also not very sure if Horizon is going to come out this year.
Funny that you mentioned that. Because that was going to be my next piece.
Oh, by all means.
PlayStation boss says Horizon Forbidden West in 2021 isn't a sure thing. When last week's Horizon Forbidden West gameplay preview came and went without fucking hell. Who Kotaku? God damn it.
This is what happens when you don't have right. This is what happens when you don't have Jason Schreier.
Exactly. It's like came in. Look at this. Came and went without a refining of its 2021 release window. Okay, there we go. 2021 release window. Folks were rightfully curious why a concrete launch day hasn't been set. According to PlayStation Studios head Herman Hulst.
Herman Hulst.
Thank you. It's because things are still in flux behind the scenes after the events of last year. His quote is, "We think we're on track to release Horizon Forbidden West this holiday season," Holt said in a PlayStation blog interview. But it isn't quite clear. But it isn't quite certain yet, and we're working as hard as we can to confirm that to you as soon as we can. End quote. Horizon Forbidden West was first revealed in 2020 with a vague 2021 release announcement a few days later. Shortly after last week's demo, developer Guerrilla Games acknowledged the lack of release date, only saying that the development was on track and more news were coming very soon. It's no secret that the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic threw a wrench into the games industry plan over the last year, resulting in delays of several high-profile releases. Holt Host
Holtz.
was open. I don't know why that is so difficult. It just looks difficult to pronounce, but it's not. It's just HULST. Host. I would say Hulk. Was open about the challenges of the PlayStation Studios and its subsidiaries that they have been facing with regards to traditionally in-person work-life performance capture. So yeah, it's obviously it, and this is me talking. This obvious working from home has some hindrance as far as the performance. Actually, overall, yeah. So, and then he continues saying, so you got a choice. Holtz explained, you could do performance capture later in the schedule, which will cause you problems, or you can risk the final quality by doing it in a different way. By a different way, I will assume that he means like just computer animated without capture, which might be difficult. But I can tell you, the quote continues, but I can tell you we're not going to risk the quality. We want to ship extremely high quality games, finished games, and we have to do that obviously without pushing our teams or to the breaking point. Wow. We have currently two very big, very narrative driven games in development. Horizon Forbidden West and the next God of War. And both of those are frankly affected by access to performance capture and talent. And then you already spoke about what's going on with in regards to God of War. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is certainly not certain, it appears to be. Nice. And you know what usually that means, and I'm okay with it if it needs to be delayed. I don't release the game if you don't think it's ready. Don't take shortcuts either. Like if it needs to be delayed, it needs to be delayed. That's fine. There are plenty of games that have come out already. Some of them might have gone into the vault of forgottenness. Mm-hmm. Just open that vault bag, your backlog vault, and start getting some games out of there. And you were pretty excited about those when they were announced. Why don't you show your excitement about them and just go back and play them, or do like MacDog is doing right now and revisit some old classics like Mass Effect?
Yeah, sounds like we'll all be doing that because Sony ain't got shit coming. So anyway, my next piece, guys. While Far Cry 6 is not trying to make a political statement about Cuba specifically, the game's narrative director, Navid Kavari, has confirmed that confirmed that the story the team is trying to tell is, in fact, political. Following an interview where Kavari revealed that instead of trying to make a political statement about what's happening in Cuba, the team was, quote, drawing inspirations from guerrilla movements around the world and throughout history, end quote. In a statement, Kavari dove deeper into his thoughts, quote, our story is political. A story about a modern revolution must be. There are hard, relevant discussions in Far Cry 6 about the conditions that lead to the rise of fascism in a nation, the cost of imperialism, forced labor, the need for free and fair elections, LGBTQ plus rights, and more within the context of Yara, a fictional island in the Caribbean. My goal was to empower our team to be fearless in the story they were telling. And we worked incredibly hard to do this over the last 5 years. We also tried to be very careful about how we approach our inspirations, which include Cuba, but also other countries around the world that have experienced political revolutions in their history. Article goes on to say many other things, but he finishes with Far Cry is a brand Far Cry is a brand that in its DNA seeks to have mature, complex themes balanced with levity and humor. One doesn't exist without the other, and we have attempted to achieve this balance with care. My only hope is that we are willing to let the story speak for itself first before forming hard opinions on its political reflections. Far Cry 6 releases on October 7th. My personal take on this is, well, put your money where your mouth is. Remains to be seen what will come out of that.
Exactly. You
Obviously,
got to show. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta. From what I've seen, the trailer. Do I've watched the trailer a few times because I love the song that plays in the trailer,
Hmm.
which I have Spotify for the record because I loved it and I kept it.
Wow. You mean
Um,
the like they have a song about Yara, like that they have the lyrics and everything. It's about Yara and it's in Spanish. Are you talking about that,
let me
or are you talking
see.
about?
I saved this. I mean, hopefully we don't get copyright written here, but
Okay,
but
we probably will.
so yeah, so it's in the act because there's two trailers, right? There's the one trailer that kind of gives you the gist of what's going on, and then the other
Mhm.
trailer with the guy with the rules, where he tells you the rules of being
Oh yes,
a,
yeah,
a guerrera, or guerrerista, whatever the fuck it's called, but
guerrillero.
guerrillero, is that what it is? Guerrillero.
Yeah, guerrillero.
Okay, so see, I fucked it all up. I don't even know. So let me see
it's
here.
it's funny because that I was about to actually, as I sat down to play Valhalla last night, and I opened the Uplay's the Uber front store that opens whenever you put that game whenever you want to play that game. And one of the news pieces was about Far Cry 6, and I'm interested in that game, so I just went in to see it, and it's literally laid out exactly like you read it. It's like the name of the article on their store. It says the politics of Far Cry 6, and it starts with our story is political, like period.
Yeah, done.
Like period.
Yeah.
And then a separate paragraph starts with a story about modern revolution, just like you read.
Yeah.
And I thought that's funny because he's like, yes, and your about face is very revolutionary also.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
because
yeah.
you could tell that at first you were like, no, we don't try to do that political stuff, and then you started hearing the negative narrative on the interwebs, and you quickly, like, you were mandated to change your base on that. It's like,
Well,
no.
what I hope is that I hope that they were going for the political angle, and then when asked about it, probably like walled themselves up, like, oh, I don't know if we should say we're making this political because we don't know. You know what I mean?
Let's hope, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hoping that that's what it was. And then when they realize that the backlash came saying, no, what are you doing? Why wouldn't you do this? And they go, shit, okay, well, I guess we were fine. We should have just said it. You know what I mean? I hope that that's what happened. I hope that they're not just redoing stuff now. And
because you think when you see that the trailer, what they're going for, you're like, how can this not be political? But then you're reminded immediately of Far Cry 5.
Mm-hmm.
Far Cry 5 seemed like it had a message, like it was going for something, like it was going for that. Well, I don't want to say it because I don't want to spark anything, but it was seriously
cults,
like,
cults,
wow,
American cults and the militia and all that. Yeah.
And it just bungled it up. They said nothing. At the end, it was a game about nothing, with the most ridiculous ending that you have probably seen. It was a disappointment.
Right.
And I'm not saying the game was not enjoyable, but it was enjoyable like a Ubisoft game normally is enjoyable. It's like, well, the gameplay is interesting, but you don't have any substance in these stories.
It is definitely on my watch list. I've not played any Far Cry game, believe it or not, except for Blood Dragon, which I loved.
Then you know the formula then.
Because I mean that was just a smaller version of it, but yeah. Right. So I haven't played any, and one of the reasons is because it always appeared to be the sandbox. Because there's a difference between open world games and sandbox. I always say there's a difference. Sandbox is literally you can go anywhere, you can do anything, you can play around here, you can move. You know what I mean? Where it just doesn't. There's no driving through narrative that keeps everything grounded. While an open world can have that. You know what I mean? When I think of Witcher, those type of things, we're like, yeah, that had a through narrative, and you can go do and play Gwent all you want. But everything still fit within the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
That it made sense. So here's a song real quick. That was in the trailer.
Oh wow. Okay. No. I know that's not the one that was, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty. I heard in the trailer, I was like, damn, that's kind of hot. And Shazammed it real quick. Anyway, so that's my
Fat
piece.
beats. Let me see. As my phone decides to literally close and not accept my
Your password? I hate
my
that.
digital. No, because
Oh.
I still use my thumb to open it. So, gamers of the world, I have an announcement. Rejoice,
Boy.
rejoice, and be happy for Super Mario Brothers. The movie
I knew it.
has been restored. And on top of that, you're going to get a whole 20 minutes of deleted scenes. That's right. I mean, how can they delete anything on that masterpiece?
From that jewel.
This part is, I'm telling you, this is Super Mario Brothers movie, the Snyder Cut.
Actually,
All right?
it does have a name, but go ahead. It has his own
for
cut
years,
name. Yeah.
for years now, Super Mario Brothers, the movie, archive has been working to obtain and restore a bunch of deleted scenes from Nintendo's 1993 disaster. Wow. Kotaku pulling no punches. That work is now largely done, leaving us with a sort of quote unquote director's cut of the film that runs for 20 minutes longer than the original. Super Mario Bros. The Morton Jankel cut. Oh, okay, it does have a name. Wow. The Morton Jankel cut is now available for viewing on the Internet Archive, and it doesn't just throw the deleted scenes in there. Those scenes were found on the old VHS and were in terrible shape, so each had to be painstakingly restored by editors and artist Garrett Gilchrist. Some of them add some welcome content to existing scenes, while others are remnants of a more teen/adult vision for the movie. Like the club scene, that there is a club scene that when you look at it has some scantily clad ladies dancing, or at least one, kind of wearing like a metal bikini. Okay. There is actually a link to, I want to say, is this YouTube? I don't even know what it is. I probably, you know what? Put the link on the show notes because this is important. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can watch the movie. And you'll be, it says that you'll instantly be able to recognize deleted or restore scenes by timestamp at the bottom of the screen. Oh, okay. So they're going to mark which ones are the deleted scenes or the restore scenes and stuff like that. Kind of like a commentary, version of it. Kind of hilarious because I always thought the whole movie should have been deleted.
So you joke about this, sir, but I want to tell you right now, I'm kind of stoked. I am kind of stoked for this Morton Jankel cut.
Jankel cut. Yes. Yes. Finally, they heard out. I'm telling you, this. I didn't know. I don't know why they didn't save this as an E3 announcement.
I don't. Honestly, it sounds and it may sound like it may sound like I'm saying this in jest. I'm not. I'm actually excited to to actually go and watch this. I know, and there isn't a part of me in the world that would not say that movie's a 1. It's a 1. It's a 1 out of 5. There's just no denying it. It is really awful, and yet I have a small soft spot in my heart for it, where it's like it's bad, but I'm okay with it. I've seen it
like the Power Glove.
a few times.
It's cool, even though it's so bad.
It's so bad. Yeah, I've seen it a few times. Super Mario Brothers. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but when I did, I saw it a few times. I actually think I had the VHS, believe it or not. And it was not Mario Brothers at all. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I was like,
It was
yeah, but I'm all
Mario.
right with it. You know, it's John Leguizamo. You know, it's Bob
Bob
Hoskins. You know,
Hoskins.
yeah. You know, it's like
It's
I'm okay with
Mario.
that. And Bowser's Dennis Hopper for some reason. Okay,
For
yeah,
some reason,
yeah,
exactly.
we'll go with that.
Sure. You know,
Yeah, it was.
everybody's walking the dinosaurs also because, like, why not? You know?
Yeah, I hear you. So yeah, I'm. You know, we joke, but I'm actually saving that link, and I am
All
also
right.
posting it for you guys if you guys want to go check it out.
There you go.
Well, you know, proceed at your own risk on that, ladies and gentlemen. My last piece, guys, is CD Projekt Red. You remember them, right? They were the
Isn't it close?
developer darlings at some point. Um,
Mm.
CD Projekt Red has revealed its Q1 2021 net profits, missed market expectations, and fell 65%
Ouch.
to just 32 million. The news was shared during CD Projekt Red's earning presentation, and it explained that despite the lower than usual net profitability, the company saw record-breaking positive cash flows. So a lot of repairing.
I'll
This is
say.
mostly due. The article goes on to say that basically it's mostly due, partly, for having to fix Cyberpunk 2077, which to date has not been completely fixed. So,
Mm-mm.
who knows how much more time they're going to spend on it? Hopefully, they can No Man's Sky it. We'll see. Highly doubt that. I think by the
I hope
time
so.
that they do, it's going to be a file size similar to Call of Duty, 178 gigs or some shit like that, because that's what's going to take for them to fix that piece of turd. Um, and that, sir, is my last piece.
Hey, I was surprised that that there was a an update for Microsoft Flight Simulator that it brought a bunch of fixes like they normally do. But one of the things that it actually did, surprisingly enough, was that it cut the install size almost in half. So that's some cleaning of the code, I will
Yeah,
say.
that's
So
definitely cleaning. Yeah, damn. Great.
that's kind of amazing. But no, that's not my last piece. My last piece is gonna be exponentially more boring than that. So for those of you who don't care about PC gaming, because PC gaming is dead, right, is that what we're saying still, since 10 years ago. So you can actually, Mad Dog, if you need to go and do something, get a refill or something. I'm just gonna talk about NVIDIA's latest
Oh dear. Okay.
flagship graphics card, the RTX 3080 Ti. Yes, sir. I want to talk about that. So I'll see you in a bit. So on sale June 3rd for a suggested retail price of $1,200. The RTX 3080 Ti is here to make older NVIDIA cards look like hot garbage in comparison. Too pricey? Well, the RTX 3070 Ti goes on sales next week for $599 US. You know this. You know the cycle by now. Nvidia releases a vanilla 3080 and 3070 cards last September and October, respectively. Nobody's able to purchase them ever. So, what Nvidia decides to do? Well, they decided that now is the time to release the TI versions, a step up from the non-TI cards, for folks who have a little bit more extra money. I'll say. If you got an older card, say like a 1080 Ti or a 2080 Ti, Nvidia has provided a graph to show you how much faster, how much your card sucks now. Which, by the way, I want to remind everybody that you cannot buy video cards in this current market right now. Period. Anything cards from like 4 or 5 generations ago are still selling out. I got people asking me to put together a system, and you get everything but a video card because you cannot buy them. And here's the kick in the balls. And this is completely unscripted. I'm not reading here or anything. So on last September, October, NVIDIA released the 3080 cards. A card that it was an impressive card. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very surprised, not only because of the capabilities of the card, and the fact that it was able to realize the pipe dream that a couple of years before that they have touted that ray tracing was going to be when they released the 2080 series or the 20, yeah, I'm going to call them 2080s series of cards, which barely could do any ray tracing, even though they were marketed as ray tracing cards. Well, the 3080 was able to exceed the expectations of what normally they will release. And not only that, but they released it for almost close to I'll say like maybe $300 or $400 less than what the yeah, almost $400 less than what the original 2080s were released. Because I remember those cards costing like somewhere around $1,000 to $1,100 when they came out, and then the 3080 came out, and the 3080 itself, which was the flagship, was $700. Now they had a more expensive version, which was like the 3090. They had never done a 90 version of anything, but they decided to do the 3090, and they decided to make that a ridiculous $2,000 card. At that point, it's like, well, that's out of like normal gamers' wallets. So, and they try to say, oh, this is a card. This card is not for gamers. This card is for content creators, and for people that does the work on, on developers, people that work with graphics and stuff like that. It's not for games, but they completely marketed like a gaming card because what did they do? They started putting the benchmark of Doom, how fast Doom, the Doom Eternal ran on the 3090s. Mm-hmm. So the 3080 Ti is actually very close in performance to the 3090, right? So which is to say, it is a little bit faster than the 3080. However, instead of $700, the MSRP, it costs $1,200, even though it's probably like 5% faster than the 3080. It's or close to 10%. Let's say in some cases, they're still gonna ask for $1,200. Why? Because they know they can get away with it. This card is a complete cash grab. There's no reason for it to exist, and they just made it because they regret fully having released the 3080 at $700. Like, I thought that was ridiculous that they were putting it that low, especially because I saw all the other cars going for like $1,000. But because now nobody can find any cars, and everybody is willing to pay like whatever for these things, like hot commodities. Nvidia saw like, shit, we can't just suddenly change the MSRP on the cars that we released a few years ago. But guess what? Let's go ahead and make new versions of it that are just slightly faster versions, and we'll just ask for an exorbitant amount of money for them because we can make money of it, because that's what it is at the end of the day. So
cash grab, called it.
Yeah. All of this to say, none of it matter, because it doesn't matter if it's a 3080, if it's a 3070, if it's a 2080. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if it's a 1080 Ti. You're fucking not gonna find one unless you're willing to pay exorbitant prices on eBay. And I would suggest you don't. This is a bad time to be a PC gamer. If you're thinking of building a PC right now in June 2021, try to desist. try to get a
Resist
try
the
to get a
urge.
PlayStation 5. Believe me, it's gonna be easier to get a PlayStation 5 than to get a reasonable piece of hardware for an affordable price. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that there used to be a time where the numbers were really good to build computers, and I was telling you around that time I was inviting anyone and everyone to be a PC gamer. Right now, those numbers aren't there. Those numbers aren't. It's like the housing market, bro. It's like if you're thinking of buying a house like that, you could probably lock that out. Sure, maybe, but the reality is you are expected to pay. You're gonna have to pay a lot more than what you were considering paying for the house because that's how it is right now. That's how everything is right now. All the industries nowadays. So now I needed to bring that up, and I needed to leave it for last because I knew that it was gonna turn ranty, and I just needed to vent about it, and also you were not gonna care because it's PC, and that puts you to sleep. So I hope that you are awakened.
I am, sir. As you were chatting away, I was just taking a peek at the Morton Jangle cut. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Although you laugh, I feel like I will have a review of this by next week. I'm just saying.
I will not doubt it.
All right, guys. We'll be right back with our hot topic.
Hot topic.
Welcome back, guys. It is now time for our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
Hot topic again, guys, are ridiculous 7. No. E3 ridiculous predictions. We're calling it ridiculous 7 because we each have 7 ridiculous predictions.
7 dumbass choices.
Yeah, we're really sifting through news and rumors and shit like that, and just kind of putting together our own. Fuck it, this is what they're gonna say. Yeah,
speak for yourself. I was just looking at the tea leaves here and like and looking at the stars.
Oh, okay.
And yes, I was in deep meditation here.
You reached out to Walter Mercado. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And lifted my hand and just laid on my keyboard, and he just started typing out of inspiration, like what the future holds. So yeah, man.
Okay. Real quick, I stumbled upon this. It actually just got tweeted today by Deep Silver, their parent company, Coke Media. Obviously, they're holding an event for Summer Games Fest called Coke Primetime. And so I was like, ooh, they're going to be doing something. All right. And the tweet goes, you won't see Dead Island, Saints Row, Metro, or Times Square.
They're just letting it out of the way so that, podcasts like ours don't mess up with our prediction.
Exactly. And so immediately I started looking, what the fuck else does do they have? I don't understand, So obviously it's going to be something fairly new, and I guess we'll see when we'll see. What are we gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get started. So I'm gonna start here. All right. Let me see. Let me take a look. Do I start with something simple or?
I have them in no particular orders. I have mine. So
no particular order.
No.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, shit, I didn't write that last one down, did I? Son of a bitch. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with a simple one. We know that Take-Two is going to be there. They have an event, even though they haven't said what time yet. So my first prediction, in full, is going to be BioShock 3 in space.
Well, I could have said that. I have confirmation of that, bro.
Did you?
Oh shit! I was not supposed to disclose that. Oh fuck!
Shit.
I broke
NDA.
NDA.
Have to delete this out of the paper.
We're gonna have to delete it. Remind me though. I always forget. All right. So But all right. Oh my God, man, that's crazy! I can't
Bioshock. Well, I guess not
believe
Bioshock 3. I guess it would be Bioshock 4 or new Bioshock is really what it's going to be because Bioshock Infinite would have been 3.
4,
So yeah,
5, 6, 7, 8 Infinite.
That's true. So yeah, then a new Bioshock, a new title Bioshock, and it will be in space.
In space.
In space.
Now let me ask you. So is the like the 1940s or 50s or 60s, something like that, but in space, right? It's still an all. It's not sci-fi. They didn't win System Shock, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm saying that they're going not completely System Shock.
No.
They're going a little Outer Worlds, sort of.
Outer Worlds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
A
all
colony.
right.
Yes.
The
A colony.
colonies.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So System Shock confirmed. Okay. All right. So I have decided not to take this seriously because
Good.
What the hell, you know? So I'm gonna throw here some like cuckoo curveballs that are not even gonna be anywhere. They're not even gonna land anywhere near the park. It might land in someone's backyard. So my first prediction, my first E3 2021 prediction is that Keanu Reeves is no longer breathtaking. And he will be on stage apologizing for Cyberpunk right there on the Microsoft. It's going to be there, bro. It's happening.
Wow. Okay. So hold on. I got to write this down. Keanu Reeves. No longer breathtaking.
No longer breathtaking. Nope.
And apologizes. Okay.
Apologizes for that. So in reality, what's going to happen is that he's going to give an update on the state of Cyberpunk, and they're going to show things that are going to look exciting, but in reality, you know that the game's still going to be broken. But this is a big marketing thing for Microsoft still, right? They spend a lot of money on it, so they gotta and CD Projekt Red has to save face somehow, right? We just heard how bad things went for them on the financials. Oh, not that bad, but definitely not as good as they could have been. So that's the part they're gonna take some. They're gonna ask for extra time. They're preparing the next. It's gonna be that like what happened with Anthem 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
When they actually fix all the issues that the game had. That's what's gonna happen.
Because that happened. Because Anthem was fixed. I love it. Oh, good stuff, sir. I like that. I would put that on a scale of possible to never happening. I'm gonna go with
It already happened.
Yeah, it's already in an altered dimension. It's already
it's a script on Earth 359. Yes.
Oh, that's good stuff. Okay, my next prediction, sir. At the Ubisoft Forward event, Ubisoft reveals their open world Star Wars game, and you play as a smuggler. And it's called Shadows of the Empire 2.
Oh God! Did you say this was at the Ubisoft event?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Hey, that is yeah. All right. That is a respectable possibility. Let's say.
Thank you. I thought so too.
Let's say. They announced that they were doing. I think they were heading more towards like a Division 2-ish, like open world gas game, right? But
I guess I don't know.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that rolling more or less. Yeah. Why not? Why not play as a? I would rather be a nerf herder. If I could. If I could play as Ponta Baba, that's my character. We need to know the backstory of Ponta Baba. That's the story I want to know. Like what happened to him,
Actually, I was always more curious about the band. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I want to see what brought the band together.
the
You
band.
know, where they
Yeah,
went
that's true. Yeah,
after
you know
Jabba
what? That
died.
that
You
could
know?
be
Yeah.
that could be like a Whiplash type of movie,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah,
Yeah. Me too.
I'll be
Yeah.
I'll be done with that. All
Yep.
right, all right, sir. How would you like? How? Oh no, it's your turn.
I just
How would
went,
you like
sir.
to go
Open World
next?
Shadows of the Empire.
Oh yeah, that was yours.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what I'm saying. Okay. Then let me ask you this. Let me ask you. By the way, it was smart for you to touch on the basis of all the other companies because I just did the ones that people care about. I didn't mention.
Okay, fair enough.
And actually, that's not even truth because I just realized. Well, I can say that Sony. Oh no, wait. Oh no, I can say that Sony. Oh fuck, no, I can't say anything because they got nothing. So, but no, that's not true. That's not true because Microsoft's gonna help them.
Oh,
Microsoft Flight Simulator, bro, is coming to PS5. Yep.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
I know. It's crazy. From Asobo Games, that game is gonna come out. You see, the thing is, Sony has demonstrated that going multi-platform could be a good thing with MLB The Show, right? Of course, Sony was made to do that. Of course, it was part of the contract of MLB. That's what they dictated. It was like either do this or we're going with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Microsoft's going to take the opportunity to test the waters, and what better, game that a game that is certainly something that people are waiting, but it's not like they're throwing like their freaking main IP or anything like that. It's just like, hey, this has broad audience appeal,
Yeah.
and why not? Why not bring it? And it's gonna be cross-platform also, so you get to do the multiplayer section of that with the people that play that are on Xbox. So
and PC.
So
that'd be good.
And PC. Yeah. Well,
all right.
if Sony allows it.
Of course. Yeah, of course. That's the one line they draw.
That's exactly. Yes.
Yes, we'll take Flight Simulator, but no, we're not going to play with you. Well done, Sony. Well done.
Thank you.
My next one
going downhill from here
is this is falling apart quickly. Starting with this one. Speaking of Microsoft. Microsoft, of course, we know this is not the surprise, but Microsoft unveils Halo Infinite, and to everyone's surprise, it looks the same as it was originally revealed.
No, because
a year was not kind to this game
because they already show a screenshot and Master Chief has a red arm. So there.
There you go. Already proven wrong.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna put that one on the very probable.
Dear Lord, I was really shooting. I was like, these guys, all the time, the shit they went through, there was no way they're gonna let it go.
No way they're gonna like
hysterical.
This whole thing. You nailed it. It's just gotta look like, I mean, freaking, what did they name the what the hell did they name the brute? Kevin?
Oh God, yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah, I think it was Kevin. Yeah.
He's not gonna look like Kevin, but he's still gonna be like dopey looking. No, actually, they're gonna make him edgy, so he gotta look like fucking Shadow of the Hedgehog or some shit like that. It's like something stupid.
They give him a scar and some makeup because he's obviously emo.
Oh, that's his name. His name is Scar, actually. Yeah, his name is Scar, and he's emo, and he can't die, but he wants to.
Yep.
I'm just gonna get the Microsoft ones out of the way because there seems to be like the easier ones to like just like nitpick, that's to take. So Let's talk about acquisitions, shall we?
Oh.
Microsoft acquires Sega for $6 billion in a push to enter the Japanese market. They're sugging in Japan, and they know it big time. There's nothing they can do. They've tried everything. So if they want to take Japan seriously, they're just gonna have to
get someone
who's already do best, which is so exactly get somebody who's already an expert of it and has or had Sega clubs everywhere. So
I was just gonna say they want to be taken seriously in Japan. So what we're gonna do is acquire the company that's currently not being taken seriously in Japan.
Yeah. Hey, what if I tell you that they announced the Dreamcast Mini at that point?
Nailed it.
That's all part of my one prediction. Don't
the Dreamcast Mini? Hold on, I gotta write that.
Yeah. It's all part of it. Microsoft acquires Sega for $6 billion, and they announced, and they take the opportunity to announce the Dreamcast Mini.
Oh, that is awesome, sir. It just gets better.
I'm telling you, God. It's more fun. It's more fun to pick up Microsoft because it's like they can fucking do anything. I mean, they're desperate. They'll do whatever, Sony, I feel like they have it more handled, know. No, I should be like, oh yeah, sure. Of course they're gonna bring Kinect back,
my next was not mine was a little bit more straightforward, although impossible to know. So
I'm really not taking this seriously, am I?
No, I mean, does mine sound like I'm taking it seriously? Machine Gun Games at the Bethesda press conference reveals their Indiana Jones, and it is a Uncharted knockoff.
To put it lightly, it is an Uncharted ripoff. Oh man! I didn't even know that they were working on an Indiana Jones. Actually, I heard about Indiana Jones game, but I didn't know who was.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, I don't know how long they've been. It's really probably too early for them to show anything. But hey, shot in the dark here. You never know.
It's the crazy. Is it crazy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of crazy, and stop me if you heard this one, but Nintendo does not acknowledge this at all on Metroid Prime 4.
Oh God! I swear to God, if they do that, Nintendo. Okay,
no. But Phil Spencer is gonna showcase the Xbox Game Pass on Nintendo Switch.
Whoa! Okay.
Oh, you
That's
like
all
that
part
one?
Of one? That's all part of one. Okay, so Game Pass to Switch. Wow. Let me tell you. Talk about painting someone into a corner. I hear that shit.
I'm telling you, man. They'll do anything right now. And there's more. Oh, I'm not done.
Oh, there's more to that one, or you have? Oh,
no. I have others. It's like I'm telling you, it was just so easy to peg it on fucking Microsoft.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I figured, well, he's probably gonna do Sony, so I'm
all over the place because Sony, I have no idea, no clue what they're doing. There's a few that I want from Sony, but I'm like, I say this every year, and you guys fucking let me down. I'm done. I'm done even trying with you.
The year that you don't say it is the year that happens.
Yeah, that's the hope.
That's the hope. Okay. That's why you're not saying anything. Okay.
Exactly. I'm keeping it. For instance, how many times have I said, please bring back Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, bring back Siphon Filter. You know what I mean? It's like these are all come on, make it happen. So anyway.
Well, you're not saying that it's happening, so
true.
They don't know, so confirm.
I will say that this does happen. Speaking of Nintendo, they reach deep into their old games and bring back F-Zero with 100 car races.
Oh no, no.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God. You were so close. You got me excited just to punch me in the face.
Yes. Yes. 100
Like
cars.
you literally told me, we found your long lost brother that you didn't have, but you're gonna have to die now.
I know. He has to take your place.
Yes. That's disgusting. I was so excited for a split second there because I would love to see an F-Zero on Switch. Like I'm ready for, like, I love those futuristic racing, battle games that they used to release a lot. I was enamored with the idea of Wipeout. And
Yeah. You always been, and for some
love
reason,
it.
it's just not. Well, first, I'm not into racing. Like, I don't mind a racer. I really don't buy them, and because I fall off them quickly.
Mm.
But futuristic racers, even more. So like,
Come
it's like, yeah, I
on.
had a Wipeout. I had Wipeout XL, I think, at some point, and even one of the earlier ones.
That's amazing.
And that's no doubt. They are an amazing looking game, but it never did it for me, bro. It just never did it for me. F-Zero, I owned F-Zero. It wasn't 64. It's the first one.
Wow.
The first one, yeah, the original, and it was good. It was. I think I played it a little bit. I was like, oh, this is fine. You know what I mean? But no me hace nada ese juego, bro. So that's why I'm like, if you want to spice it up, let's do it. 100 hovercrafts.
Hell no. It's just gonna be a joke in itself. It's gonna be like a freaking battle royale game, and I don't want that.
Nailed it. Yep, that's exactly what I want.
No. You can stuff it in your sack, mister. Okay. Well, all right. Let's switch gears a bit then.
Mhm.
A new Spider-Man game from Sony is announced. And I'm not talking about the one that we were all expecting. No. It's certainly going to be by Insomniac.
Mhm.
But it's not going to be the one that it's not going to be the sequel to this one. This one in particular is actually going to introduce the Spider-Verse. And it's going to have all the characters of the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
and yes, and that's gonna be exciting. So
that is exciting.
I can be serious also.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like something right up my alley. Yep.
Yes, exactly.
That's a great one.
They're just gonna switch it a little bit. They're gonna introduce the Spider-Verse. I'm not saying that they're doing exactly, the character from the movie,
Mhm.
but they are gonna make, they're definitely gonna introduce the Spider-Verse on their next game.
Okay. Very interested.
It's the only thing that can top, what they did with the original. I mean, Mike Morales was like an interesting, it was actually a very fun game, but in itself, it felt a little bit like an expansion of the original Spider-Man game and the original Spider-Man, or Marvel Spider-Man as it's called.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. Although a really beautiful looking one, but
yeah, without a doubt,
for sure.
And that engine and that gameplay, it just cannot go to waste. But also, it'll be too obvious to expect like give me the sequel to Marvel Spider-Man. Well, how about if instead of giving you that, since Spidey's so hot these days, we'll give you, we're throwing the Spider-Verse to mix things up. Make it more crazy, because now you're not bound to like freaking reality anymore. Now you can do shit like in Ratchet and Clank, the new game, where you could be like going through dimensions and shit like that. So yeah. Damn, the more I think about it, the more excited I get about a game that hasn't been announced.
I like it. It's a
like it a lot.
freaking idea, dude.
Yeah.
Make it happen, fucking Insomniac. Okay.
Insomniac.
My next one's again, probably a little bit more hopeful. At the Capcom event, we get to see, running on the RE engine, the Dino Crisis remake
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, fine. Dino Crisis. Oh, brother.
Hey, if we can do the zombie thing, we can freaking do the dino thing, okay?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
I'm down with that. If they're gonna put on the RE, do the RE engine is something
Oh, it
special.
looks phenomenal.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That is a
yeah, yeah.
special thing. And I haven't got around to playing Resident Evil 8. And
Mhm.
I'll probably wait a little bit on that, mostly because I don't need it at this moment. But I heard, that it is a very, very good looking game on a PlayStation 5. So I'm like, yeah, man, you could do that with bringing back Dino Crisis, which I remember playing the first two. I don't think I ever played three, and I'm not even sure if it went past that. But they were good. I mean, they were just Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs. You know what I
With
mean?
dinosaurs, yeah. I'm down with that. Yeah,
Right around the Jurassic Park, time frame where everybody was kind of into that. So yeah, bring it back.
all right, all right,
If you
done.
keep
You
bringing
wish
Jurassic Park back, you can do this. I'm just saying.
it's that now's the time. Now's the time.
Yeah.
My next prediction should come as no surprise because I believe I mentioned this prediction on all the other prediction shows that we have. That's not true. Maybe I did it last year, but this is the year, guys. This is the year. This is the moment, and that is that not his next game that he's working on, but another project that is gonna be that he's gonna be working on as well. And I'm talking about Hideo Kojima is gonna show the next game, an Xbox exclusive,
Oh,
and it's gonna be a
shit.
horror game because Microsoft would have paid them $1 gajillion on it. And again, we need Japanese influence. So. It's desperate. It's desperation. Oh,
Let me
again.
see here. Microsoft exclusive horror game. Damn. Okay.
Microsoft exclusive
Ooh, in
horror
the
game
in
from
the
Hideo Kojima. And no, it's not. I'm not saying that is Silent Hill.
no, but I'm saying obviously it can be because that would be Konami, but it doesn't have to be Silent Hill for it to look and feel the same.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, there's a sprinkle of rumors that I base this one on. It's not out of complete thin air.
Yeah. I
Uh,
know there were well, first off, what's his name? Uh my
Dark.
goodness, dude. No, the main guy from
Chaos?
Microsoft. What's his name?
Oh, Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer, thank you. Phil Spencer, he had an interview or something like that, and over his shoulder he had the Death Stranding or something Kojima related behind him. So that was like the first thing, and then we found out. I think there was rumors that or something that they were meeting up to talk about something. Obviously, what will the two talk about if not a game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
It's not a game. Yes.
doesn't mean he would they would be acquired.
Mm.
And I don't think Kojima, after everything he dealt with Konami, not that Microsoft would be anything like Konami, but just the fact that he had to deal with that so long.
I mean, he
He
has their
wouldn't.
independence. Why would he give it
Yeah,
up?
exactly. So, but a game that's different. Yeah, a game. Sure, we'll make a game for
Yeah,
you.
and I'm not saying it's their next thing that that they could be working on. I'm saying
Yeah.
like, hey, this was talked about at some point, and this is the time. This is the time. It's gonna be announced. You'll see. You'll see. You all will see.
All right, sir. This one here is pie in the sky. However,
I mean, have you heard mine?
yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Netflix Geek Week, which is on June 11th, will reveal a Netflix game streaming service.
What?
And they'll call it Netgame.
Oh man.
Oh
I think first of all, I think Netgame is taken. Let's see.
Is it? I'm sure it's gonna
Netgame.com redirect to redirect to Netflix.
Oh snap!
No, it says page request cannot be found. But what a name, huh?
Net
Holy shit.
game. Yeah.
Netgame. Netflix, Netgame. Yeah, that's
Actually, you know what? I'll go with Net Gaming. I think that's a little better.
Net Gaming.
Net Gaming.
All right.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
How about Net Play? Would that work?
I suppose. I like it. Think of something. It was the one thing I was like, oh, what would they call this shit? They don't want to. They wouldn't want it to go too far away from Netflix, so you know that it's connected. But NetPlay, yeah. I didn't think of that. I don't know why.
One of the ones that I was considering adding here, it was like, and Sony finally announces their Game Pass offering, and they're gonna call it. And I couldn't figure out what the hell they were gonna call it, and because of that, and I spent too much time on it. I was like, "Well, fuck it, they're not gonna do anything.
They ain't doing shit.
They're not doing shit because they don't even know how to call it. They call it the sacred symbols or some culty shit like that."
Oh shit! Okay.
But my last piece is about Sony.
Oh.
And the fact that, well, it's about PlayStation. It's about PlayStation 5. And it's about the brand new PlayStation 5 Slim, which they're going to show in black.
This is definitely behind the sky, but I love it. New PlayStation 5 Slim revealed in black.
In black. And you know what's happening is that fucking PlayStation 5s are costing way too much to make, and yes, they're selling and they're probably bringing even or if they are about to profit, they're like, what if we actually make this simpler? Technology tends to get smaller, and we can still make a CD. One that has the DVD, the Blu-ray player on it, and make it slimmer. And then the digital version is even slimmer than that. And those are going to be the ones that are going to be selling from now on. But people will get whatever they can get, so it doesn't matter.
Interesting. Okay.
And they're gonna be shown, bro. They're gonna be shown, even though they remember they don't have an event. But they're gonna have something.
They have to have something. It can't stay silent. Come on now.
No.
Yeah.
It can't.
I mean, they could, but then they would really, really be hammered. You know what I mean? For saying silent.
This is the announcement that make everybody go like, and then it doesn't matter whatever. It doesn't matter if Keanu Reeves is on his knees crying at the Microsoft event. Nobody's gonna talk about that. We're gonna be talking about the new PlayStation 5 Slim.
Yeah. And
the new PlayStation 5S.
He will he will announce, or they will announce, I should say. Pre-order is open now, and then of course that will break the market as usual. Sir, I have a last one, so I'm just gonna throw it in here.
All right. Well, about time we put a lid on this.
Somewhere within, I know, somewhere within the Summer Games Fest. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just looking at the entire calendar and everything else that's happening. I was like, I don't know.
Somewhere from here to December 31st.
Somewhere in this, something that's coming up in the next few weeks, we finally see Ken Levine's game. And it is a heavily political and controversial game. Ken Levine.
BioShock 4. No, I'm kidding.
Irrational Games. I should put Irrational Games. I put Ken Levine, but I should put Irrational Games. Irrational Games. Irrational Games.
6?
Finally reveals their heavily political and controversial game.
And then Ubisoft's going to yell at the top of the lung, no! No,
Son of a
we're
bitch.
political. We're the political
I
ones.
know. You can't be political too.
We are political. Yes, exactly.
Oh
Exactly.
my god. All right, guys. So you have it. You guys may not know this, but you have been literally given a window into
Punked.
what is going to happen within the next couple of weeks here. Behold, all of this will come to pass.
That's right. I told you it's a prophecy, you know.
Yeah. This is Nostradamus like here, guys. We're not just making this shit up on the fly, even though maybe we said that earlier before we're recording, but still. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our ridiculous predictions. As always, please go.
Always
Good
fun.
game. That rocks. Join the conversation there. And of course, please like, subscribe, share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week saying, man, I can't wait for E3, bro.
E3's back.
E3 is back. Mr. Santos, take us home.
You know what? I'm not gonna say anything because this room is hot as Satan's balls, and I need to take a shower because I am sweating like a motherfucker. I am sweating. I have no idea. It's horrible. This room is horrible, bro. And it's my favorite part of the house.
Well, there you go. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. GG!